Disc golf trivia number 2. We did the first one a few weeks ago. I won, so I get to host this time. So I guess whoever wins the night will host either next week or the next week. We're going to try to do it every Thursday.
Yeah.
And this will be points given to everyone for personal opinion questions that I feel is the winner. So 4 points for the winner, 3, 2, 1. I can even split them up if I want to. So let's do it like this. We're going to start with Jake. What are the top things that make up a great disc golf course?
That make up a great disc golf course?
What do you
On the spot.
A variety
No
of
hesitation.
different, like, it's not just open. You got wooded, you got open, you got, like, it's just a variety of different holes. In my opinion, long and short pads over 2 different baskets. And then well maintained that keeps the grass cut. Don't let it get overly long, and to the point that your disc hits and sticks. Give it some ground play option still.
Okay. Go for it, Mike.
I guess for me, multiple pin placements for most of your tees. Having either a red and a gold option or amateur and a pro option for pads. And then really just having a mix of good lines to play, whether that incorporates Mandos, OBs, wooded or open. If you're on an open course, adding in the mandatories to make it where you have to draw the line for harder. And then, of course, like Jake said, well-groomed and maintained. I don't care if it's wooded or not. I think that there should be, bullseye should be maintained for ground play and stuff like that.
Okay. What do you think, Tom?
Let me go to this golf course. I'm definitely like if it's well maintained, like everyone said already. And if there's like Nando's make it a little more difficult, multiple pin placements or multiple pads for starters and pros, it'd be like easier for some amateur players and decent signage.
I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you. Is anybody else, or do y'all hear me
A
fine?
little bit, yeah.
A little
Yeah, a
bit.
little bit. I think I understood what you said. But, okay. Preston.
All right, so I think that having good groundskeepers, that just plays in with what Mike and Jake said. You have people that are designated to take care of the course. Good courses will designate a hole to a person, people that basically volunteer to the course. I think having multiple pad and multiple pin locations, and also having it to where it's friendly to new players, because you'll have people that come to a course and they don't know how to use UDisc. And they get there and it's just kind of like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where I'm going. So kind of having a sign in the beginning that kind of shows a layout they can take a picture of or something, and then signs at each tee pad. When it comes to like more pro level, I think that comes into your pars and whether you're something a par 3 or a par 4, depending on how technical that hole is. I think what else?
Yeah, I didn't know this was happening until last week, so I was like, take a break.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That was 5 things.
I feel like if you have good groundskeepers, you're going to have a great course.
Okay. I like the whole thing about the UDisc because I don't really use UDisc when I go to a new course. I'll turn it on though if I can't figure my way around to press, and I'm gonna give you the W on that one just because of that.
I was thinking that afterwards, like that reminded me of Wild when you said that. I'd never played Wild in Newport before. One of the best navigated courses by signage and actual direction upon going to the next tee. That was key.
Yeah, even this little what I notice a lot of our local guys are doing now, they're just 3D printing the little arrows that snap onto the bottom of the basket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's so nice. Yeah, absolutely. Because you just look in the direction, you're like, oh, there's a tee pad over there.
Right.
So we're gonna. I think Jake and Mike are gonna tie that one because y'all's were kind of the closest. Something I was hoping somebody would say would be like bathrooms, restrooms, parking, easy access. But
I feel like that's getting lost though. especially in like more residential areas. The parking's a big thing. Like we have one coming out here, the arena. There's no parking for it whatsoever. It's going to be street parking, and
the
it's
new court, one of them that I'm working on. We don't have parking where it's going on at all.
yeah.
Okay, Tom, we're gonna give you 2. We're not gonna do 1. We're gonna do Mike and Jake with 3 each. Preston, 4 points for the first one.
Some more nuggets.
I was nervous you guys were going to take my answers.
I gotta say thank you to Boogies for sending the gift a little bit ago.
Yeah, thanks for all the gifts.
Tomorrow night,
Anyone that gifts in.
We're at 3,000 likes, guys. Let's get up to 5,000.
3.3, nice.
Oh,
It's called Pro Tour Live on the projector out here tomorrow night. Okay, let's see. Personal opinion. Let's go. Let's start with Mike this time and just go the other way. Who has the best team right now between like the players and why?
I mean, I really hate to even say this, but honestly, MVP I think has the best team. Because I feel like there is other competitives, but when you're looking at who's on MVP as their top for FPO and MPO, I mean, can you really say Simon and Tristan aren't Qatar aren't right there? Like I don't know. Like for me, MVP plus the concept of MVP's amateur, what they would consider like their amateur league, is so supportive, and what they just launched for their new series for amateur is actually really cool. It's expensive. I'm not going to lie. $120 for an AM tournament is a little pricey, but the fact that you're getting 4 premium discs and a really dope hoodie and a couple other things is really cool.
Chance to go to the MVP Open and play with the pros.
Yeah, and that's the big thing is getting a ticket to the MVP Open.
Yep.
So I have to say MVP.
Not just a spectator play. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Tom, who do you think has the best team and why?
Lone Star.
That's actually a tough one. I was just thinking of it.
Right. We have a new Lone Star.
Yeah, we gotta do
sponsored all up to me.
Jordan,
But
what's up, bro?
that is actually. Well, I'm trying to think of recent winners. I'm thinking. Let's go with. All right, let's go. No, I'm sorry. I'm taking way too long on this one. That's a tough one. Go with.
sorry.
I'll go with Prodigy just because of how Gannon Bird's been winning like every other tournament recently, and yeah, I was just
Prodigy has the best team or Lone Star? I'm confused.
I'll go Prodigy.
Prodigy. Gannon Bird.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Preston, what do you got?
I'm gonna have to go with Tom on this one. I think Prodigy right now has the best team. I mean, you have Gannon right now, where the guy he's something else that nobody else is currently. And then you also have a lot of players on the team that have taken podium. I'm pulling a blank on who just barely won. It was like 2 events ago, and it was his first Elite Series win. But I just think that right now, Prodigy, especially with everything that happened, a lot of eyes were on Prodigy. And once the season started, you saw a lot of Prodigy players podium or shooting really hot rounds. And a lot of people, there was a lot of drama with it, but I mean, essentially that's what happens with things being in the news. But yeah, I think it's going to be Prodigy.
What you got, Jake?
I mean, against my better opinion, I got to agree with Mike and say MVP just because of their lineup solely is more attractive to the eye. They got Simon, they got Conrad, then you let's go to their FPO side, which I haven't really looked too much at, so I'm just going to kind of take Mike's word on it.
Open's going to be really good.
have.
But yeah, I definitely think MVP solely just on the it's more eye appealing to everybody else.
2 MVPs and 2 prodigies.
No one said
figure out who won.
Latitude. No one said the one that should have, that would have been the kicker for Kevin just because he's on the team.
I'm also, I know, I think
I mean,
more along
but
the
then
lines of the
again,
question. There was
you could honestly make an argument with Latitude just for the fact of Kristen Tatar. I honestly think
Exactly,
that
yeah.
you could make a huge argument with that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna make the
And same with
argument
Prodigy with Gannon Burthen. Sorry, Kevin.
I'm going to make the argument with Lone Star where he started and going into Emerson Keith, Nico LaCastro, and all the
Yep.
females, all the new players that they had just picked up, and all the signing bonuses and all the people they picked up. And I believe I would have given you the win if you had gone there.
And that's why I
Because
was like, should have just stayed with Lone.
should have
Yep.
stayed with Lone Star. But
But
I think just because Jake said 2 names instead of everybody else saying 1, I'm going to give Jake the win.
All right, Jake.
So let's go Jake, Mike. And we'll go give y'all Preston and Tom too. So
I will say that Prodigy's street team is actually very it's consistent to get on, and that's why I will agree with like the growth of Prodigy. But when it comes to like what MVP is trying to pull into it right now, that's the only reason why I win MVP.
I see that. You guys were 600 likes from 5,000.
yeah, let's go. But like I talked about Prodigy 2 weeks ago, how they put all the money in at the beginning. Lone Star's doing the same thing right now.
Yep.
Yep. Well, they got LaCastro for a cheap price too.
They're picking up people like Tom that are putting out a lot of content where he's popping up on places like TikTok all the time just to get the name out there. So
Yep.
yeah. So what did I say? Who won? Jake won.
Jake, me, then Preston, Tom, Ty. Way to put Conrad out there. I didn't even think twice about Conrad. I was thinking, honestly, you know who I'm thinking about when I say MVP? I'm thinking of Chaz. But they don't know Chaz.
Well, I looked
Dude,
over
Chaz
to my
is such
left,
a
and my buddy
solid-
got his name.
he's such a
Conrad,
solid
and he's
community
sitting right
player,
there
though.
staring at me.
Yep.
So Chaz is one of our local MVP guys, and he puts on the Solitude Open here in Utah.
And
It's
the
really
Pacific
popular. It's
Open.
actually it's McMahon's one of McMahon's favorite tournaments to go to.
Yep. Eagle will be there again this year.
So
Play with Dan Brooks Wells quite a bit, who is a big MVP. He plays for MVP. I know he was one of their touring players, but he got hurt for a little bit. So.
I mean, Brian Usher was his MVP as well. So I know a lot of MVP guys.
Okay. What's something that you believe that disc golf companies could do more for their players that they don't really do now? Who's going to start off?
that was a really, really, really good and difficult question.
Maybe they're already doing it. We just don't know about it. But what's something you think should be done?
Okay.
I'm trying to think here. Maybe like more recognition of like the players like doing well in tournaments. Like you already see like pro players for teams like get put out on like their Instagram or something like that. But what if like they put like more, recognize more or something like that?
Social media by the company they play for.
Yeah, like more recognition of amateur players, putting them out there more so they could get more recognition also. So like the pro players.
Okay. Good answer. Preston.
I think that having the ability to go on a website and selecting a player that you want to support, and once you click on it, it sets a cookie into the system, and any purchases you make on the website, they get a certain percentage of that to go towards their pocket, their tournaments. I don't even think tournaments, well, yeah, tournaments, just because I feel like lower end, yes, higher end, no, it'd be more pocketed. I think that what Prodigy is doing right now, they just really came out with a subscription box, and they also have a custom jersey and disc for each player. And when they just really announced it like 2 days ago, and each player has their own custom jersey and a disc that goes with it, and you can buy that to support that player. I think Prodigy's taking the lead right now in supporting their players after the whole debacle that happened, just to kind of prove like, hey, we're here to support our players. Yeah, I haven't seen any other company do that, and I think that's really smart.
Well, if anybody would like to get this shirt, you can buy this shirt from Under Par Apparel, and it will help me out.
Hey!
So it's my shirt. So go, Jake.
I think more along it's kind of going with Tom's, but not really. I think giving like the amateur players their own like tour series disc or like their own signature stamp on a disc to promote themselves. Like people at my level or Tom's level or like with Preston, getting Preston his own stamp or Tom his own stamp, being like, hey, we can sell these and help get our tours going.
Okay.
That it, Jake?
Mike.
So one thing that I feel that everyone should do, and this goes company wide. This isn't just based on one particular entity, but every entity should have a listed spot on their site for their Pro Tour team and their Am Tour team, and each person should get a segment of in the bag. Because one thing that is big for a lot of people is they try to go out and they support these players based on Tour Series discs, right? But they may not throw those discs because they're too fast for them, or they're not not able to control that disc the way the pro is able to control it. But having that option for your amateur players that you're sponsored by really helps build that, so they can see how each player is using the disc, what they're doing, and be able to really support what they want to support, and really seeing, this person's bagging these molds, this person's bagging these molds, and that way you can see, okay, I can honestly base off of your play kind of what I can do. So I'm not going to go be like Gannon, I'm not going to go be like Simon, but I can be like this amateur. I think that they should really have that option for when integrated in their website on the about or the their team stance, every list of every player, and just have a segment spot video where that player can upload an in the bag video for themselves to really help promote themselves as well within that company that they're sponsored by.
So I didn't realize. So Latitude does that. Like you can go click on me. It'll talk about me. It'll have the 4 or 5 discs listed that I throw and why I throw them, and also my in the bag from 3 years ago with Gatekeeper Media. So.
Yep. So they do that for more of like Latitude does that, but the problem is Dynamic has so many amateur players. Lone Star has so many amateur players that they haven't created that across the board for more of the Am series players that are just getting into it. And that also gives that person the ability to feel like they're being wanted within that company because they're getting a spotlight as well.
I think, Tom, I think you won this one. I believe every company should support their amateurs and post their tournament. That was something that I was doing with Latitude, is trying to post all of our lower level players. I was doing that, and I think recognition goes a long ways for people who don't normally get recognized. It makes them feel really, really good. I noticed last year that Westside Disc really started doing that a lot. You'll notice they make posts every week of players just on the scene. I think that's great. His little recognition. Preston, I'm gonna give you second, and then Jake and Mike, I'm gonna give y'all a tie.
All right.
All right, guys, we were 400 likes from 200 likes from 5K.
I'll drop another 100 really fast.
If we get to 10K, we get on For You page.
It looks like Tom and Preston are tied right now.
Woo!
Mike's one back.
Oh, I'm on the spot this next question, too.
In the lead by 1.
I like to be able to think and allow you guys to answer first.
Not this time.
I know. Oh.
Very close to it, even though I didn't know. Let's see.
I really like the point system, by the way. This point system's great.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've given a 1 yet. That's too hard to do. There hadn't been.
See what I mean, man? When I was going, I was like, oh, I don't know.
Where we at? Let's see. Personal question: who's your favorite player and why?
Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So my favorite player.
Tell me why. Make them my favorite player also.
Gosh dang it. This is going to be really hard.
Okay. My favorite player is Eagle McMahon. When I first started playing disc golf, I was pulled in by him as a player. I don't know, something about his play style. I really liked his forehand. I was a forehand dominant player when I first started playing. And so I started throwing Discmania. And then he got injured and some things happened with him where he wasn't 100%, but he pulled through it and he throws a better left hand than we do dominant hand. Like, the guy is insane. And so just watching him come back from that and then he injured himself again and he had to pull out again and he had to readjust himself. But I just think that the mental endurance, the physical endurance that he's went through just to show that he's still here and he still is a top tier player makes him very favorable amongst a lot of people. I think that he has a charismatic about him where everybody kind of like, I don't know the right word for it, where they kind of attract to him because he's not your typical disc golfer. He's not, he has his own style and he doesn't kind of mesh in with everybody else. He does his own thing. He doesn't care and he just does him. And I think that that's kind of stands out from a lot of other players that kind of fit in or trying to fit in with the style of what other players do.
All right. I think it goes to me next, don't it?
Yes, you, Jake.
All right. Mine's going to have to be Ricky, just solely on, for obviously personal reasons. Is one, I started out watching him. He's like, his playing style is what got me into it. Like, the scrambling and all that made me want to get that, like, almost perfected before my throwing, even. And solely on, I was out at, what was it? Delwood, I want to say. And he was doing a practice round. And I had ran into him, and he was one of the few people that told me you can stand still and throw 500, and you could run up and throw 500. The standstill is show. We do it to entertain people.
Look both ways and go get it.
So, I mean, it's the same concept as, like, I just posted a video the other day of Big Germ saying the same thing. He can, and Mike, we were saying it earlier, you can throw 500 standing still, but it's just you don't have to use as much power if you use a run up. So I definitely Ricky on just how he is and the person that he is and what he's doing, even while he's not playing. Like, I just seen Calvin now has the birdie counter for this tournament.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah, I saw that also.
And so we all know that's going to get ran up.
Okay. Mine is honestly, I'm going to be straightforward. It is a little of a biased opinion, just because of the personal connection I have with the player. But mine is Eric Oakley.
Great player.
Obviously, he came out of Utah. I've played with him numerous times. Anytime he comes to Utah, he hits me up personally to play around. But when it comes to the humbleness of him on the course, is by far one of the few players on the Pro Tour that will actually step up to a rec player and offer advice, offer an opinion, and step out of his own practice round just to try to better the sport and the growth of that player. And on top of that, I mean, you want to talk about form. He has one of the most funky forms out there. His bunny hop is amazing, and I love it to death. But when it comes to the humbleness of growing the sport, of seeing where he started from here and what he's done for not only himself, but other players, as well as what he did to dedicate to Tina to get her involved and everything, is huge to me. And I'm so much about growing the sport. Like, I mean, I only got my PDGA number last year. If I would have got in it 17 years ago when I started playing, I'd be in the low, 50s, 60s. But but for me, it's like the growth of the sport and putting yourself aside, even in your touring practice rounds, to step aside and step out and say, hey, what can I do to help you is big for me. So.
And he supports a lot of younger players too. He posts on a lot of their. Is that good? All the time.
Yep. He does a lot of stuff. Tom, what you got?
I'm gonna go probably like someone off the team I just got signed by, Nico Lacastro. The
Say that
reason
again?
he's Nico Lacastro.
Okay.
The reason is because when I first started watching, the first tournament I watched was from here in Delaware at Iron Hill, and he was on the lead card. And he was the person that gave him background information and stuff like that. So I really like that, and it was just because it's a local course that I play out once in a while. And also I like him because he's also Team Munster also.
Okay. Everybody good? So it's between Mike and Jake for me. At first, when I heard Jake, I thought you were going to be the winner, but Mike, I'm going to have to give it to you because I've done a clinic with Eric, and he'll take the time just to talk to anybody and do everything. So I'm going to give Eric the win on this one, but Ricky definitely second. And Tom and Preston, I'm going to have y'all tied for 2 points each.
Sounds good.
So,
nice. Sorry, Jake.
It's all good, man. I can't disagree. Eric's a great person, personally and on the course.
Yep.
I mean,
that's why he's such a good social media He's such a good social media outlet.
Oh yeah.
For Infinite, for Clash, for every company that he works with.
Yep.
That he's just, I don't know. He's very. You feel like you can go to him. Like you feel like you could message him and you don't know the guy. Like that's how.
That's what I was just gonna say. And for being at the level he is, he's very responsive to just like if we were to message him on a social media site, he's very responsive.
Yeah, he would respond to anyone.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't feel like I could message Ricky out of the blue. I mean, well, there's certain people I can message and they'd message me back, but like I'm not gonna be able to message Conrad and feel like I'm gonna get a response from him. You know, I feel like any player could reach out to Oakley, and Oakley's gonna give them the time of day because that's who he is.
I had to dig this thing out of the closet, but it was well worth it. Okay. Let's see how many more questions we have. What are we at? We're at 30 minutes almost.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 more questions like this, and then we'll go to the 1-point things after.
Gotcha.
Question everybody talks about: should the PDGA rating system be changed or updated? Yes, no, and why?
Getting dirty. Let's go.
Start on Jake.
Look at the pop on this disc.
I think that's Jake.
I'm going to have to say I don't have an answer because I don't understand the rating system to the point where I think I can have an answer.
Nobody understands it. That's the correct answer.
So is that what you're going with, Jake?
So, I mean, like, I just found out the other day when Mike told me that they actually do take weather into effect. Or I think Preston told me it, or Mike, one of the two. But yeah, they take weather into effect. So like honestly, like I said, I don't know enough to have an answer for that one.
So in other words, rephrase your question. Rephrase your answer to that you think they should update the statistics of the rating so that it's more understood is what your answer is, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess in layman's terms.
For me, I want to say yes to the change because the fact that I don't like that I can go to a course and my rating is going to be based off of the best MPO rate player as an M2 player. So as an MA2 player, if I'm shooting and I've got MPO players in that same round and they shoot a 10 down on that course, they're setting that bar for me to where if I don't shoot to a standard of what they're setting, my rating's really heavily affected. And so it's like, if everyone in the field does bad, then my rating's better. If everyone in the field does good and I do bad, my rating sucks. And that's a big thing for me is I don't think it should be set by the best player that could potentially be sandbagging your division or anything like that, because that is affecting my rating. If someone's walking in shooting a 10 down in my division and I'm shooting a 6 down and the rest of the pack shooting a 6 down, well, you just set the bar for my rating when you should be playing MA1 and I'm an MA2. So now my rating's being heavily affected by that. So I think that there should be some adjustments within it, but it's going to come down to the fact of how do they define the rating based per division instead of as a player set bar.
That was a really good answer. I'm on the side of where Jake said I have no idea how the rating system works or anything, so I can't really say much about it. I played one tournament and I've barely been playing for a year yet, so I can't say much if updating like they should fix the rating system or not. Yeah.
I'm in disagreement with Mike. I think that you cannot sandbag in sanctioned tournaments. I mean, yeah, you can in unsanctioned, but I think sanctioned tournaments there's a certain rating limit that you cannot go below. I think that yeah, it can be difficult when an MPO player is setting the field, but at the same time, like I don't think it should be per division. I think it should be amongst the field just because those are the top tier players setting the bar, and then it goes down from there. I do agree with Jake where I believe that they need to make it a little bit more user friendly to where you can understand it. Like for example, I did an Excel sheet that somebody set up so where you can find out what your rating is going to be before, and I just had to input my my scores and stuff like that to be able to find my rating, but they have an explanation of how it is done. It does not make sense. I don't understand it. Even though they explain it, it makes absolutely no sense to me. It's a bunch of math that
Algorithm.
I think that needs to be a little bit easier to understand. I don't know if that's possible or not, but I think that that's where everybody's super confused because nobody knows what their rating's going to be until the second Tuesday of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that there definitely has to be some way to be able to make it understandable for players to know like what their rating's going to be in the future. I do like the fact if, like, for instance, I shot a 775 rated round. It was awful.
Was that Tuesday?
Yeah, no, that one was bad too. But for instance, those are going to get wiped away because I have other ratings coming in that are 933, 950 that are going to wipe those lower rated rounds out. So I really like the fact if it's 100 points over, it's going to wipe your lower round and kind of give you that forgiveness. So far, I like the way that the rating system is. I just think that, like I said before, it just needs to be a little more
keep the ball in the yard. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. No worries. That's it.
That's it.
Yep.
Right in.
You'll only get 2 or 3 depending on how many tournaments you play get wiped away. So if you shoot 3 775s, one of them probably will go in.
Yeah. I was only 2. Well, it was 1 775. 775.
I'll get some 930 sometimes. If I get like 3 or 4 of them, 1 or 2 usually will go in.
Okay.
And it's funny. 1 month it'll go in, and 1 month it won't go in.
Yeah.
So it just depends. The rating system, I think, could be updated in one way that it should be more closer to the course than the play itself and the determination of like the rain that you said. But I'm gonna go with Preston for the win and Mike for second. I think Preston explained a little bit better. I'd like to take Tom and Jake the 2 points each because we don't have any 1 points until a minute. So Preston with 4.
I wouldn't even mind taking the 1 point on that one. I said absolutely nothing on that topic.
Yeah, me and the rating system are not friends. I have no idea what I do when I look at it. I just look at it when it's updated.
Right.
Go inside, Bill. Go inside with brother.
I mean, if you spend enough time, you'll be able to understand it. But it's just like, do any of us really want to go learn the math for that?
I can usually tell you what I shot when I get done with a round at a sanction.
Okay.
Like
teach me.
Okay.
Like
Right.
if I go out and play around and there's a bunch of people there, like 50, 60 people, and I shoot around, I can usually say, oh, I just shot a 960 or oh, I just shot a 1050. I'm like, okay, that was over 1015, and it usually is. Problem is if you get a tournament with a lot of people that are not rated that high, lower rated players shoot really well, it'll mess up the better rating. So it's a somewhat flawed system, I believe. But
Okay.
Okay. I see that. Yep.
like I throw a lot of leagues. Every Tuesday I throw leagues. Most of our players around here are 920, 930. I can go out one week and shoot a 12 down short to short. It'll be 1020. I go next week short to short, shoot a 12 down, and it's 980. And that's because some of our 920, 930 rated players shot better that week. So
Yep. So do you want to know why I kind of say I think it should be division based though, Preston? Is
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the fact that division based states consistency. So if you like for me and you, right? We can both play T-ville and we can both shoot 7, 8, 9 down on islands. But then we both, like Tuesday, shot a 3 and a 9 plus. You know, because we don't have that consistency. So having that pro MPO player hitting that bar that is always having that consistency hinders my experience of my rating because I don't have that consistency.
Okay.
That's my only reason on division based.
Okay.
Jake's cheating.
I do like that though. I like that explanation. I think that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But it's just like, how do you do that? I don't know.
Division, because like you think about MA4. MA4 is never going to break that 800 mark, that 800 bar. If you have an MPO player shooting that neg 10 and they're shooting a plus 22, they're never going to break that bar because their hot round is not being taken into consideration as thoroughly as the hot round for the whole thing. So
there's enough propagators, and that 800 rated player and that 980 rated player shoot the same, it will average out to the higher, than lower.
Yeah,
because one person shooting better, the system does see it. So it's weird.
And that's what's really hard for me is it's all player based, not division based, which is hard for me.
We are.
Two more questions here. What is something the PDJ does not offer that you wish they did?
Oh,
I can go for tournaments. I can go for registration. I got what I would want to put, and I'll say at the end. I'd rather not say now because it's something that I feel highly strong about that they should do. And I'll say it at the end.
Okay. I guess I'm starting this one.
What are we at? 5.3 thousand likes.
So there's I mean, for me, it comes back down to really like when I register for the PDGA, I think that they need to integrate with UDisc and Disc Golf Network and give those subscriptions as part of my membership. That's one big thing for me that I think that they could easily integrate and change, and it wouldn't take much to do so. And I think that would also draw a lot more players in the amateur side of things to want to spend that to get the PDGA membership, which would enhance, grow the association and really grow the sport for all the rec players out there, because now they're getting something that they can utilize whether they play a lot of tournaments or not. Like I was really hesitant to get a PDGA membership because I didn't play a lot of sanctioned tournaments. I played a lot of charity events. I played a lot of singles leagues, doubles, and just local stuff. And then when I go out of town, I do the same thing. But I wouldn't play a lot of tournaments. So I was reserved from getting a PDGA membership because I didn't play those. And then it kind of forced my hand to do it because I don't want to spend that extra $10 fee for not having my PDGA membership in a tournament. So that's the only reason why I was like, okay, it forces my hand to get that. But I think that if they just added in those free subscriptions like UDisc and Disc Golf Network, that would amplify what we get out of it as, amateur players.
Is UDisc not offered with the PDGA membership anymore? Did they cut
Nope,
that away?
it's a separate charge, yearly 15. It's either monthly or a $15 a year charge.
I got all that set up. So I don't even remember.
So and I started when I started with UDisc. I got UDisc when it was in beta version and it was free, and then they turned it to where you had to have the subscription to be able to even see the course layout and stuff like that, and be able to go through and like the scorecard and stuff. So it's a little different. That's why I'm like already integrated with PDGA numbers. Once you have your PDGA number, it auto populates your profile within UDisc. So that they're already there. Why can't you just say, you know what? Hey, we have to up the renewal cost by $5. Then we upgrade the renewal cost by $5, and this is what you're getting out of it. And you're going to have that benefit of the player saying, "Oh, I'm going to spend $15 for the year, or I can spend $5 extra and $55 for my AM PDGA membership, and it comes with my year subscription." You know, so that's a big thing for me.
Well, Mike, you pretty much stole my answer right off the bat. I was legit gonna say like maybe make it like with UDisc, make it more available if you had a PDG active membership, where like less than what normal people would have to pay for it. Or also recently when I got mine, like beginning of the year, I had to pay extra for the special disc or whatever to make that more available, or make it like less money or something like that.
My turn?
Yeah.
So I think that the magazines are pointless. I think Birdie Club, Eagle Club, all that is so stupid. I don't care. I think that it's the dumbest thing having your name on a list and you're paying money to have your name on a list. I think that they could use that in a more beneficial way. And I know that it's a money grab, but at the same time, you have the Disc Golf Network. You have, like Tom was saying, you have the disc you can grab with your membership. I think that the memberships have gotten too expensive for what you're paying for. I think that them adding in UDisc, adding in Disc Golf Network, just like you guys are saying, I'm just in full agreement with you guys. Having that, or even having the option to do that instead of the magazine, like they could keep the magazine, but you're choosing what you're spending your money on, I think would benefit everyone all around. It's not that much for UDisc. It's not. I think that spending $15 a year is not that much, but at the same time, integrating it in with your and you'll be getting a chunk of that instead of a magazine. So everybody's benefiting from it. I don't see why they don't do that, but yeah, that's just my take.
And see, you're good, Preston.
Oh, I got one more thing.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, this goes not just for the PDGA membership, but I also think this goes across the board for tournaments and player packs, is instead of giving you something that you don't get to choose, I think that tournament jerseys or a PDGA membership jersey would be a huge benefit. They could take a massive chunk from that. That's an optional thing. And I think that would be a huge benefit because a lot of people don't really use jerseys, but it's starting to come into the light. You've got a lot of B tiers, a lot of A tiers that are starting to offer jerseys in their player packs. And I like that way more than a disc that I don't even like the brand.
Yep.
Right.
I'm not going to throw it. I mean, I may hang it if I like the stamp, but I think having a jersey benefits players more than anything else.
If anybody needs tournament shirts for their tournaments, you can always go through Under Par Apparel and order straight through them.
Right. Support Kevin, guys. He's wearing it right now.
I know. I'm honestly gonna go probably look at that one because I want that one that you got on.
We might change it up a little bit, so you know.
I like the pink and purple.
It's just gonna be pink and purple. That's the color. That's the shirt I picked out, but we didn't put a logo on the first order at all.
Okay. I mean, I'm in agreement, like Preston said, I'm in agreement with everybody, but in my opinion, like just to add something to it with the PDGA membership pack, when it comes out with the disc, for instance, like Tom's on Lone Star, me with Trilogy, you have the option to pick what disc you get. Like have one disc from each brand, and then the person signing up gets to pick. Like, oh, I want that one. This year, a Compass is the one from Latitude. Okay, I want that. But then I was gonna say jerseys, but Preston kind of snuck in there and took that.
I got one more thing I want to add. Can I add one more thing, Kevin?
What's that? I got a truck going by.
So can I add one more thing?
Who's that? Yes.
One thing that I think would be really beneficial on the amateur side of things is setting a tier setting, basically saying if you hit this tier, whether it be a points or an amount of tournaments played, you get your membership free of charge the following year. I think that would be a huge thing for amateurs, basically to also help them say, I'm not just trying to get an invite to Am Worlds. Right. I'm also, if I hit, like, instead of hitting 2,000 points, if I hit 1,500, I qualify for my next year membership. Or if I play a total of 20 tournaments throughout the year, I qualify for my next year membership. I think that would be also very beneficial in that concept. But that's also stating that fees and stuff would have to be implemented in that to maybe change that structure of the PDGA fee and whatnot.
Hola.
Heavy. What do we want? Tell them what we want. Hearts. I want hearts.
Heart.
More hearts.
Hearts. We got to get to 10K, guys.
Well,
10K's for you page.
Won, and I just added more to it, so.
He's like, you already won,
yeah,
but you just got the
I just want to, like,
I like
comment on
this thing. I think that's
comments.
great.
I can see that. They don't want to push the product, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like the companies also have jerseys that they want to push.
Mm-hmm.
So making that available to your amateur players, and they're going to be paying the retail price for it.
I don't know, where's it at?
They're still going to be pushing product.
Somewhere. There's the logo. But like Tom's holding that one PDGA disc in his hand there. Is that the relay, Tom? Yeah. Relay. See, I would love to have a trilogy disc with that koi fish stamp.
Yeah, right.
I do like
so maybe the ability to be able to do the stamp on a custom disc.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to notate something really quick because Mike did. I was kidding. No, you said it, Jake. That's all you.
Somebody ringing.
So see, like I got this old 2022 Valerie Vandal, but I would like that koi fish right here.
Tap.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I'm still waiting to see what Jordan's big surprise was, Tom, from earlier.
I know, right?
Okay, what you got, Kevin?
There's something I wanted with the PDGA that I wish they would do.
Yeah.
I wish that they would enact free membership to people that have passed or past world champions, so you can see their stats and stuff. You can't see any of that stuff.
Yep.
It really bothers me.
I agree with that one. That's a big issue that I have within that. Once they pass, their page goes down. I agree with you.
There's a lot of faulty things going on within.
I did not know that. That's yeah.
There's a lot that could be changed, in my opinion.
Okay, this will be the last question, and then we'll go to the fast ones. And I guess we're almost at an hour.
What's the points on that one?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting choked. Wait a second.
Bye.
I think Mike won with 4.
That extra comment.
Mike with 4.
Well, he said I had it one before the comment. That just was the cherry on top.
One before the second part, and then Preston had second.
Okay.
Preston's like, I should have won.
No. I was just saying, like, once you made that second comment, I was like, damn, now Mike's going to win. I was like, that was a really good comment. 300 from 6K.
By 1.
Who's over Jake?
Mike.
But Jake's over me. Actually, he's over Preston.
Mike with 18. Jake with 17. I'm with 14. Preston with 17. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Mike's over Preston and Jake. I can't count.
Jake, we got to take him out.
All right, sneak attack. You hit him high, I'll hit him low.
Okay, let's cover all bases so we can't cover it.
Right, you seem taller than me, so.
No, Preston's small.
So am I. I'm only 5'8", 5'7".
You guys are the same height.
Another
Okay.
personal question.
5'10".
Personal question.
Mike always with the insults.
What is your
Hey.
favorite thing about disc golf?
I like that one.
Man, that's a good question.
Tom, start it
I
off.
like this one.
I saved the best for last, or what I felt was the best.
Who's up first? Am I?
Tom.
It's me? Oh. I think my favorite part about disc golf is just getting outside, meeting new people. Definitely like being out there in nature, getting some fresh air. Go do something besides just walk around and do nothing. So I'd rather just throw one of these into a tree and have fun doing that today than walking around in the woods and not throwing my favorite disc into a tree, making it unstable. Make it understable.
Very good. What do you got, Preston?
I think disc golf is one of the best. It is the best community sport there is. I think it's the most accessible.
Me too, Mike.
ever since no, it's been around ever since the beginning, but ever since 2021 the sport blew up and it's been growing, but it is one of the most accessible sports to play competitively and to build your way up to become a pro. I think the way they have it set up, yeah, there are some faults and things, but it is the easiest accessible sport to be able to get into tournaments, to be able to play, and to be able to play people that are the same skill level as you.
Right.
I think that's one of the best things about disc golf. I think it's one of the most welcoming communities that I've ever played in any sport. A lot of sports, you have very closed off communities, and it's kind of, you don't know what to do. But once you get in disc golf, people are just like, we got a league, we got a tournament, we got a charity, there's clubs. I just think that it's a very, very newcomer friendly. It's very family friendly. It's like I go to, for instance, there was a sanctioned tournament, just an XC that we do with somebody that does a Rocky Mountain tour. And I was like, hey, I know it's sanctioned, but I'm going to have my kids. Is that okay? I'll have them in the wagon. They'll be quiet. And he's like, that's no problem at all, as long as your card's okay with it. And it's like, any other sport, could I do that? Absolutely not.
Right.
So I think that the fact that it's just as friendly as it is, I think is a huge
Sorry, bro.
bonus.
I know you're probably bored. You can hit the Dragon Egg if you want.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Mine, honestly, and as cliche as this will sound, honestly, this right here, we got Kevin, Mike, Preston, me, and Tom. Now, granted, yeah, Preston and Mike are close enough that they can play together, but we don't know each other from a hole in the wall, and look what we've done already with the short amount of time with the group that we got. The camaraderie in the sport is just obscenely crazy to me. To where if I'm playing baseball or something, and I'm a White Sox fan over a Cubs fan, there could be a brawl in the parking lot over that. We're not gonna brawl over me being a Ricky fan and
whatever. I'll throw a fist at you, bro.
Yeah. Right. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it's honestly amazing to me what we have done with this little group that we made here with our Discord and stuff just in the short amount of time. Like, we run these game shows and that. Like, you don't see baseball and football doing this stuff.
Love that.
Is that all?
Yep.
That's it. You're up.
Okay. So I've got two reasons behind why I love disc golf. The first reason is the ability to be able to financially play is by far one of the easiest sports to get into. You look at bowling, you look at baseball, you look at basketball, football. You have all of these equipment fees, right? And then you also have all these fees to be able to actually participate, whether you're paying for the bowling league and the bowling lane or whatever. You go out and you buy a starter pack for $30 and you can play 1,000 rounds for free. So you're invested $30 and time into it. Yep. That's huge in this reality of disc golf. It gives the ability for anyone to be able to financially get into it and not feel like they're going to spend all this money. If they don't like it, they're not out more than $30 to start. That's huge. And then the back end part is the community behind it. And I like Preston's answer on the community, but the one thing that the disc golf community does is they support one another in all endeavors. Whether it comes down to a financial burden, a death, mental health, it doesn't matter. You can go into any region of the disc golf community inside of a state that you've never been into, walk in, and you're going to be accepted. If you're in that community for a long time and you reach out and say, man, I'm struggling right now, I need to come up with $500.
Uh-oh.
Hello. Oh, sorry. There we go. Whether the case is you need a little financial assistance, the disc golf community will come through and they will help you out. And that by far is unheard of in any other community out there. You don't have bowling leagues that are just going to help their person out just because they're a fellow bowler or whatever it is. And that's huge to me. Like, whether it's helping me out on my house because I can't afford to get a brand new furnace, but someone's an HVAC guy within my community and he says, hey, if you can afford cost, I'll do the labor for free. That means more to me than anything within that community. And that's building the community and showing the support, and it helps bring new people in, knowing that that's who we are, is the humbleness of our community. So that's where my community backing is the humbleness behind our community.
Love it.
Okay, those are all great answers. Mike and Tom, I'm going to have y'all tied for second. I'm going to give Jake the W only because where else would five of us get together and meet like this, you know?
Right. Like before this, Kevin, I seen you and I was watching your TikToks and stuff, but like I didn't know you from no one else. You know what I mean?
I'm still learning everybody's name. I can barely remember mine half the time.
Me too.
So we're going to give Jake 4 points. Keep losing my pen. 1, 2, 3, 4. And what was it, Mike? 3.
Listen to this.
1.
What plastic is that?
I don't know. I got it from. I was doing like it was like a five course tournament in a weekend. It's like 4 9-holes and 1 12-hole. You can play them out of 3 days, and this is like one of the discs they gave us. It's divergent, but it's like it's
and now that we've done one side,
It almost looks like
Question.
it almost looks like
my
this
car, so I
plastic.
just grabbed it.
Here's the one that's like right.
And this is
here.
Hybrid X.
do you have the
This
part?
is not for me. This is like base, or maybe.
Oh, it's like a base plastic.
Top.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have the part,
wow.
that's fine.
That's almost like a 2020 Calvin Destroyer pop top.
Okay, so
Yeah, we can do that.
at the end of all those questions, we have Jake
We'll
and
do it
Mike
after we
tied
drop
at
the card.
21, Tom 17, and Preston at 19. 2 weeks ago, was everybody in the live that's here right now? Tom,
think
you were,
so.
you were there the
Tom
whole
wasn't,
time.
but he was watching.
Yeah, you were watching the whole time. So I'm going to ask some questions from that live and some other questions that are going to be worth 1 point.
Oh God, I'm gonna lose.
Y'all ready?
No.
And if you want somebody to answer it before you, please tell me.
Hamburgers.
It's going to be speed round for 1 point after this truck goes by.
The answer is hamburger.
Schwimberger.
Go by truck. Okay, here we go. 2 weeks ago, somebody chimed into our live as we were playing. Who was that player?
Hamburger.
Brian.
Who said Swedberger?
Me.
Mike gets the point.
Just because Preston said it right before we started.
That is such BS, dude.
So Mike, giving the point to Preston.
No, give it
because
to
you
him.
said
Give it
it
to him.
before
Give it to
you
him.
asked the
Give it to
question.
him. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
I knew you were gonna ask that question too. I was about to go to my messages because I messaged him and I was just like, "Hey, sorry." His first name's Brian, right?
Name a number. How many wins does he have?
366.
355.
What was that, Mike?
366.
I said 355.
300. I don't know.
345.
The answer is 368. I think Mike got it.
Dang, Mike.
Boom. Mike is taking the lead by 2. Okay, we're going to go the other direction. Wait 1 second, Savvy. What female player has the most wins in the same age groups?
Sarah Hokum.
No.
Jennifer Allen.
No,
Oh,
Savvy.
Jennifer Allen. That's a good one.
Paige Pierce.
You're thinking too young. You need to think a little older.
Yeah.
Not much older.
Oh, I don't know her
Evelina.
name.
Who?
Evelina?
Evelyn. No, older. I don't know what her name is. She's
Juliana Cover.
No, but that's close. A little closer. She's done
I don't remember her
commentary for
name.
Disc Golf
Owen
Pro Tour.
Scoggins. Owen.
You just
I'm
said
out on
that
this.
last hint kind of made me think, and I can't think of the name now. I can picture
can't think of her
but
name.
thing.
I know what she looks like. She was just in the PDGA magazine last month.
Probably.
And I
she's been
can't
in
think of her
some
name.
stuff.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're
Worked with
talking about.
PDGA Also.
Let me go get my magazine really quick. I'll be right back.
I can't.
So
put
one
her- I
time
can't
it
put a
comes in
finger on her
handy.
name.
Okay, wait. Since nobody knows, I'm gonna do this right here. If there's people watching right now, I have a capstone, which I will ship out if somebody in the comments can name the woman with the most wins right now. If not, I'm gonna name who it is. All you gotta do is
Man,
message.
somebody's gonna go on Google, search that up.
You got 5
Hey,
seconds.
Siri.
5,
5.
4, 3, 2.
Come on,
Why
guys.
did I say Evelina? Did she report Christian Tatar for?
No, it
I
was.
think that's it. We're gonna go with Elaine King.
Yep,
Oh.
King. Yep.
Yeah.
I knew who it was. You just didn't
Evelina.
think of it. So no points given.
Yep.
Let's do the same thing we did with Brian Swedberger. How many wins?
Oh, I think it's like
Everybody
249.
guess. Whoever gets the closest gets the point.
249.
250.
270.
That's why you get. That's why you don't drop the first answer.
So
I've
I'm
heard
like
249 and
248.
270. What?
I'll say.
What do you got, Tom?
Say 248, Tom.
Price is right, me. $1. $1.
Let's go with 2. Let's go with 250.
250. Is that everybody?
Thanks so much for the mics.
Who said the highest number?
I said
270 was-
270.
Jake was 270.
Okay. The 311.
Oh my gosh, that's impressive.
Dang.
Who won?
That's so many. Sheesh.
Who's one away from the win? Who has a world record for the farthest throw?
Simon was
Um,
up.
Barry
No.
Schultz Jr.
No.
Garrett Gerthy.
No.
Oh no. Oh my goodness, I don't know his name, but he did it out in the desert.
Wasn't it Barry?
he's
I
the
thought
record.
Barry.
He's the
No,
record
who the
holder.
fuck is it?
It's
You're
not
close,
Barry.
Jake, but you're
Barry's got the beats, not that. David Wiggins Jr.
He has the boss.
David Wiggins
Is it
Jr.
Wiggins
Jake
Jr.?
got it. David Wiggins Jr. Jake is now tied for first place.
Isn't it still
Wait,
like
hold
1,000?
Wait, whoa.
Preston, did you say that before I did?
Oh man, I'm sorry.
How far was that throw? Close.
1,080.
It was like 1431.
1,108.
Keep going.
1431.
What was that, Tom?
I said 1,200.
Okay. Who's left?
14,000.
1,108.9.
Oh, I got that was my first answer.
Damn.
I
Who
said
got that, Mike?
1,008.
Was that Mike or Jake?
Jake.
I said 1,008. I forgot the
Oh, you
0.9.
did?
I used
What's
to
that?
have one of his
No,
bosses.
Oh, I said 1,080.
We'll say that's good enough, Jake. You won. You missed it by 0.9.
Yep.
Dang. This one
I used
Matt-
to
this
have
Matt
one of
knows.
his bosses, and I was like, "Oh, this is crazy." That was the only thing I remember about that was the 1,108.
That's good.
Now,
Okay.
Didn't he throw like
granted,
140 gram disc?
I
or
do want to
100
say, I do want
A
to
Blizzard
say this,
champion
Dumb,
boss.
like,
I do want to say this. Simon Lizotte did throw a 1,400-foot throw at the Salt Flats like 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
I never heard that.
I've never heard.
I never heard of it, but I could see it.
It was back when it was with his previous sponsor, Discmania. They were out of the Salt Flats, and he did hit 14. But the fact that they didn't count it because it was the wind that carried it the whole time.
I
It
think
was an
Simon
80 mile
Lizotte
per hour
has
wind.
the longest mini throw too.
Like that was the reason is there was an 80 mile per hour tailwind.
But that's the only reason. That's the only reason Wiggins got the distance he did is it was crazy winds.
Oh,
He
yeah.
gets his 360 throw at the distance comps.
So, okay, we're going to ask some questions about me now.
Oh.
Oh God, I'm out. I'm out. I lose.
Okay, first
Is he cute? Yes.
First person,
Did he look good with the wig on? Looks great.
when I played for Team USA this past August, what country did we play in?
South Korea. Dang it.
Sweden.
Finland?
Australia.
Germany.
So we keep
Japan.
guessing. Canada.
No. A lot of those
Mexico?
countries are here.
Norway.
No.
America.
America. U.S. United States.
He's like, who left?
Switzerland? I don't know.
Ooh,
Sweden?
Sweden.
It was in Croatia.
Croatia. Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah, no.
Well, guess this. Who won?
You did.
You.
Yeah.
I didn't win.
I don't know. Sam.
Wait, what team? Team USA won.
No.
Dang it.
No,
country
Team
was
Croatia. Team Croatia won.
Croatia did not win. They did okay.
The Swiss.
Swiss did not win.
Did Finland?
Team Canada?
Who
Ooh,
has some of
Finland's
the
a good
best
one.
disc golfers right now that are even on tour? Come out of what country?
Oh, Europe.
We're at.
Well, yeah, what country?
Germany.
No.
Norway?
Sweden.
I'll put that back on and I'll screw it on for
Swiss.
you.
Sweden.
It's just Swiss again.
Japan.
No.
Oh, yeah, they have, what's his name, just got 17 titles. Or 16.
64 has some players sponsored for this country. Quite a few.
Australia win.
I'll put a couple
Australia
balls
took like third.
I don't know what country it'd be.
I don't know.
Estonia.
Oh, God. Okay.
Albert Tan.
Estonia.
Star.
Never seen that.
See, that's who I was thinking of was Tam, but I was like, where the hell is he
Wait,
from?
where?
Estonia.
Estonia.
Really? Oh,
So
yeah.
So the thing is, the people that played for Estonia were not Albert Tam or Kristen Tatar.
Right.
It was the ones right under them, and they were just as good. Okay, what are we at right now? We have Jake in the lead by 1. Everybody gets a guess. What place did USA take?
Third.
5th.
Second.
Your turn, Jake.
I said 5th.
Oh, you said 5th? What did you say, Tom? Second? I said 3rd.
What did you say, Mike?
What's the question?
What place did USA take?
What was the question?
What place did USA finish in the World?
6th.
Who said 6? Is that everybody?
Mike said 6th. I said 5th.
Who finished in 7th? Mike got them.
7th.
And that ties it up. So I think what we should do is I have one more question, and whoever spits out the win between Mike and Jake win it. Is that okay with y'all?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
When I visited the factory in Sweden, what disc did I pull out of the trash can?
I know this.
Oh, a
bite?
slammer.
Hold on.
What was that, Mike?
Bite?
Slammer.
Slammer for the win.
Slammer.
Mike, let's
Slammer!
go.
Mike is our winner, and we'll host next week on Thursday. I'm glad y'all paid attention to my little bit of nonsense from last week so y'all can remember some things.
That was fun. Thank you, Kevin. I had a great time.
That was awesome, guys.
That was about an
Oh,
hour.
now I have to do some work.
I blew it earlier.
Yeah, Mike, you got
Go,
work now.
Mike.
We'll check the board. We got Mike as the winner.
Be ready for some super difficult questions, guys.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna make us all think. Do your Hey, wait. So next week, should we have a theme that people can study on?
Oh man, that's too much.
I'm not gonna say that there's gonna I'm not gonna put a theme out there.
Okay.
Thank you, Boogies, for the glitter badge and the record.
Mine is
Blowing up.
actually okay. I will put one thing out because I'm gonna do the same thing that Kevin did, where we're gonna have a speed round at the end, and the speed round will be based on the PDGA tour.
Will you have the hair?
What about the PDGA
I'll
tour?
have
That's
some,
such a broad thing to say.
That's kind of.
That's what I'm saying. Keep it just when it comes to
Is it like
When it
PDGA
comes
history?
it.
Mike?
No, like
Wait up.
the 2023 PDGA is what it's going to be based on.
Okay. So this year currently the PDGA.
Hello. So 2020 this current PDGA tour will be the main reality of the speed round, whether it be winners, courses, certain things that happen during practice rounds, and stuff like that.
I like that. Okay. Oh, looking
Sweet.
cool.
Okay, well, with that note, I'm going to get back to work because I got another side to finish. So you all have a good day. I appreciate
All right,
you
thanks
letting me
again,
win.
Kevin.
See y'all.
Much appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir.
That was
Thanks
awesome.
for running it, Kevin.
Later, guys.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys.
Bye.